guys, welcome back. So welcome to the kitchen. Today we are going to make cookies. And to do that, I have a variety of things out. And my written recipe. Ooh, don't worry, I'll put it in the description box for you. So what I'm starting out with is a half of a cup or 1 stick of melted butter. And to that, I am going to add a half of a cup of cocoa powder. So, of course, forgot to get my measuring cups out. So, let me get half cup of measuring stuff of cocoa powder. And to that, we are also going to add, normally you would add a cup of sugar, but since Mom is diabetic, I'm using Splenda Blend. So, my 1 cup measure is stealthily hidden behind the tripod. So let me go ahead and add that, and the Splenda stuff measures 1:1 with regular sugar. So, and the oven is done preheating. I'll preheat the oven to 350. 350. So let me find my whisk, which is probably, well, it's somewhere that it's not supposed to be, so, aha, she said triumphantly. It's in the drawer. So I'm going to whisk together the butter, the sugar, the cocoa, and this is arguably my parents' favorite cookie that I'm making, and it's going to be chocolate orange walnut. So that is what we're making. All that is in there. I need 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So 1, 2, 3. Life hack. Use the cap. That. I have also got a cinnamon blend here. This is a combination of cinnamon and orange rind and allspice and clove and stuff like that. It's a billion years old, but I still use it because it's still good. I'm going to add that. The only thing that I don't have is vanilla. That's what I'm missing. I don't think that they have any, so we're just going to forego that. Get that all mixed in. I'm going to put away my liquid ingredients that I don't need anymore. And then we are going to crack in 1 huevo. get that mixed in. And I mix after every stage, or after every ingredient just about, just to make sure that everything is really well incorporated. Just makes things easier. Next thing we're going to be adding is 1 1/3 cup of flour. Got my 1 cup here. Have a 3rd cup measurement, but I can normally eyeball it pretty well. There we go, 1/3. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, powder. Big difference. Top of my flour. And then we also need about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fluff together my dry ingredients just to make sure that there's no lumpy bits of anything like baking powder. Incorporated in. Then I'm going to take away the whisk and grab a rubber spatula, because if you try to whisk this together, it will become an unholy mess in your whisk, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So it's not all mixed in together, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm adding walnuts. These are pretty big chunky walnuts, so I'm just smushing them up with my hand to make them smaller. Because if you ever try to chop nuts on a chopping board, they love to run around and it annoys me, so I don't bother. I just do it with my hands and it's just as easy, if not easier. Or you just be, you know, lazy and buy chopped cones or walnuts or whatever your nut of choice happens to be. They love walnuts, so I use walnuts. And I promised them that while I was here, I was going to make cookies. So here I am making cookies. Alright, so there's the walnuts. Care of HEB. And now what I'm going to add is a little bit, you know, bougie. But I'm going to add some orange dark chocolate. And I have managed to hide this from them since I got it at the store the other day. Otherwise it would be gone. So I'm going to get a chopping knife. chopping skills lack something these days. Okay, chocolate all over my hand. Gee, whatever shall I do with that? I'm not gonna lick my hand, don't worry. That would just be unsanitary, Rev. Yeah, well, they're my parents. We're all from the same gene pool. So the reason that I'm adding in stuff while it's still a little bit floury is if you coat your ingredients with a little bit of flour, it helps them to not sink to the bottom of the batter, the dough, the whatever. This works with cookies, with breads, with any number of baked goods that you're adding things in, especially if they're wet ingredients, like if you're making strawberry banana bread, like I did the other day. If you sprinkle a little bit of flour over the strawberries before you add it to your batter, that sprinkle of flour will help suspend the strawberries in the dough so they don't sink to the bottom of your loaf. Top tip. So here we go, and this is what I'm looking for, this consistency. And God bless America, that looks good. Now, I need to grab some parchment paper. If they haven't used it all, there it is. And all I have to do this with is this tiny little sheet pan. It's not even a whole sheet. It's like a quarter sheet. It's teeny, but it works. So I'm gonna get a spoon. And you just make them however big you want your cookies to be. So they like pretty big size cookies, so that's what I'm gonna make. About a tablespoon. Apart or so. Although if they run together, you just get one big cookie, and who's gonna argue with one big cookie? I mean, come on. Not once have I ever heard, oh, that cookie is too big, I don't want it. This particular dough, it doesn't spread a lot, so I normally go in and smush it down a little bit just so they're not quite as tall, you know. So there we have, skip it down a little bit, cookies. I'm going to go smush, smush, smush. I'm on an uneven surface, so it's making lots of annoying racket. Dear Jesus. Oof. That. I will put the extra dough in the refrigerator to keep it cool, and I'm going to stick this in a 350-degree oven for about 12 minutes. So I will see you then. They're done. Right, so oven mitt. baby. Insert sexy music here. So there you go, cookies. I'm gonna bake up the other dozen and then put them on a seasonally appropriate platter, and we're gonna eat them. So thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again on the next one. Take care, guys. Cheers.